People saying they saw the smoke all the way from 22nd Street. I actually talked to a man who got off the bus, was one of the first people here before first responders. Some good news from the state. Both the governor and Dr. Rachel Levine say that they have no intentions of moving the state back to the yellow phase. His family says this house, the last place he was seen Friday night, the garage behind it, the focal point of this investigation, according to the police chief. Come off of Dorchester, this is the real problem. One of the neighbors here says that they've only seen one plow truck. We just got some new information from the battalion fire chief. He says that one man was taken to the hospital. You can see blue X's marking off the seats that will not be available for people to sit in for social distancing. Now everyone entering the stadium. Suzanne Saxon tells me the last time she voted was the primary back in 1992. If you take a look behind me, you can actually see a live look into that room right now. These stacks of paper are the ballots that are left to be scanned. Assault not the issue tonight outside East Liberty Presbyterian Church, and we have people on all sides of this church. The vice president just took the stage behind me. Take a look. Something school leaders say is just not feasible. So how do you go about making a plan to keep kids safe? These buildings were housing volunteer supplies for the recreation department. Now they're missing door handles and covered in spray paint as the community hopes to find out who did this.
I have a couple of questions for you. First of which, it appears this building stood alone. I mean, were any other buildings at any time in danger from this fire?
Well, Stacey, from what it appears, this building is two old row homes in one historic building. So the way it collapsed, only the one side did. There's a neighboring business about a half a block down the way that was okay. And because that side is on, that's still standing, nothing on the other side was in danger as far as we can see from where we're located. Okay, for those people who are not necessarily totally familiar with East Carson Street in that particular area, can you give us kind of a locator? I think at some point we saw the BP, and that's the kind of end of where we're talking about on East Carson Street, right? Absolutely. So we're on 11th. This is East Carson Street. We're right at the intersection of 11th Street. If you're familiar, the 10th Street Bridge, then the BP, and then you have this building. As Councilman Kraus told us earlier, this was kind of the gateway entry to the business district here in Southside, which is why it's such a devastating loss to the community. Sean Schertz spent 93 days in this hospital, 60 of which in the ICU and 51 on a ventilator. He says he has no clue where he got COVID-19, but it left an impact, and he's not alone.
Can you, like when I touch you there, can you feel that? Can you feel the pressure?
Once a week at West Arm Physical Therapy in Cheswick.
Nice, relax.
Sean Schertz puts in the work.
It happens so quick that it puts everybody in a tailspin, and you don't know which way you're going to go from day to day.
He's fighting to regain what he's lost.
I woke up and asked the nurse, am I going to go home? And she said, no, you've been here 3 months.
Diagnosed with COVID-19 on July 3rd, Sean spent 93 days in the hospital, more than half in the ICU on a ventilator. Months later, he's still experiencing long hauler symptoms.
The kind of generalized fatigue, muscle weakness, soreness.
Dr. Randolph Peters with Allegheny Health Network says he's seeing more and more patients with varying long-term symptoms.
The thing that's really scary is this has exploded. This is off the chart. I mean, if even 10% of people have any of these symptoms, with the number of infections we've had, we're already up to what, 1, 2, 3 million people. And we're on this part of the curve. We haven't even seen the top yet.
For Sean, he lost feeling in his hands and feet, memory loss, heart problems, and no sense of smell. Dr. Peters says there's no one treatment for the side effects.
I got a second chance in life, and the second chance that I get trying to get back to the person I was 100%.
Right now,
right to left, left to right.
Sean is taking small steps with physical therapy and asking the community to not back down on the fight against COVID-19.
All right, take a little break there, okay?
It almost took my life, and it almost took things away from my family. All that stuff that they tell you to do it, because you can be here one day and gone the next.
Since starting physical therapy back in October, Sean's therapists tell me he has come a long way in terms of range of motion as well as regaining some of that strength. He tells me he hopes 1 year from now he'll find some sort of normal. We're reporting live outside Allegheny General Hospital tonight. Nicole Ford, KDKA News. This Shop and Save
we have Sweetie
on Mount Washington is a staple.
I'm good. I'm real good. How's your sister? She's doing good. She's doing real good.
Filled with people who are family.
Here I am, 35 years later.
Jim and Michelle Kazgarowski didn't know what to expect owning a grocery store in a pandemic.
And I just look back and think, you know, my employees are like heroes to me because they came here every day. You know, it's rewarding to think back on like how tough and how strong they were to come in here every day to work and knowing that, you know, they might get sick here. They might die.
The gratitude for their staff is evident.
Such dedication. They deserve the world. I wish I could give it to them.
Each employee walks the aisles or chats with a customer.
One of my grocery guys can help you out.
Each time with a smile. While the smiles can't be seen beneath the mask, the warmth is felt by the customers who come in the front door.
We know what everyone wants to eat. We know what everyone likes. We have specials for certain people because you know we know their situations. So yeah, it's just a family store, family neighborhood.
Working the front lines is not easy.
Sometimes it's a thankless job coming in every day.
So the Mount Washington Community Development Corporation wanted to change that. This staff, these owners, and the neighborhood store are the neighbors of the year.
It brought happiness in a time of heartache, basically.
Working 6 to 7 days a week, no matter how long it takes, this staff tells me they keep coming back for Jim and Michelle.
They're here because they love us. That itself, not bonuses, but it's because he also makes them feel good. And I think that's what's kept them just so dedicated.
Well, this award is just a title. It's a title this staff is proud to wear. Now, when they found out that they'd won the award, they all got together and took a picture, celebrated, and then got back to doing what they love. Reporting live on Mount Washington tonight, Nicole Ford, KDKA News.